Welcome to It's Your Money. I'm Deborah Uroda in the studio with Michelle Coy with Tafoya Barrett and Associates. And have you ever gotten one of those little love notes from the IRS? Well, don't panic. Why?
So that's often the first thing that people do is, oh my gosh, I've got an IRS notice. They're after me. I've done something wrong. So the first thing to do is not to panic and to breathe, because there could be just so many different explanations. You need to take time to read what's going on and investigate the situation.
But most of the time it's a mistake,
most
right?
Most of the time it's a mistake, and it could be often an honest mistake on somebody's part. The IRS can make mistakes. It could be on their part. They may have applied a payment to a wrong year or something like that. Or it could be a mistake. You forgot to include some income, or you may have forgotten to include some withholding, in which case you may be getting a refund that you didn't know about.
So you get the love letter from the IRS and you don't have all your ducks in a row and you can't find your papers. Sounds like you want to be very organized.
It's important. The mistake could have happened because of being disorganized. One thing, if your CPA prepared your tax return, they will have copies of everything that you gave them already in their system and easily able to find. But sometimes wrong information is even given to the CPA because of confusion around, when a payment was made, or forgot that, you made a payment, or forgot about something. So being organized helps reduce the opportunity for this to happen.
So how long should you keep your tax records then?
7 years, all details. And keep copies of your tax returns supposedly forever is what they say, but not all the background. But for 7 years is the best rule of thumb.
All right. Now, I want to make it really clear, and this has happened to about everybody in Durango that I know of, the IRS will not call you unless you call them first. What are some other warning signs that the IRS is not really the IRS who's contacting you? An email saying it's from the IRS. They will not email you. Contact you on social media. People have gotten messages in Facebook or different things. The IRS will not do that. So their first communication with you regarding an issue will be by mail. So that leads into the next point, is that it's super important to have your address updated. And because typically the IRS notices will not get forwarded due to identity theft protection. They don't want it going into somebody else's mailbox. And that 30 days deadline still applies
yes.
if you don't give them the right address?
Yes, so I've had situations where clients have moved and maybe not filed a tax return for a couple years, and then had a notice from the last one they did file, and it didn't find them for 3 years. And there's been massive penalties and fines and things adding up, interest related to that particular issue, and it gets harder and harder to resolve as time goes by.
You can negotiate lower penalties, and it's safer. There is a lot of negotiation, isn't there?
There is a lot of negotiation, and again, it depends on the communication and what's happened. Again, they may be assessing penalties and interest against you for something they think, but then when it comes down to it, it actually is in your benefit, and they owe you interest. So. It really goes both ways.
All right, and so if anybody wants to know more about what to do if you get a love letter from the IRS, be sure to contact your CPA or get in touch with Michelle Coy at Tafoya Barrett and Associates.